Howdy out there, YouTubers. I know it's been a while and I've been remiss. I'm thinking, yeah, some cool stuff's been happening around here, and I'm just going to take a second while I'm thinking about it to bring you all up to speed with an informal episode of ShopBeat here. So let's get into what I've been doing and stuff like that. I have a project here on the bench. This is a Dragonfly Feathers forged integral chef knife. A big one with a big bolster that I left blank so I can do a keyhole integral out of it. And this time I'm trying a more advanced keyhole style, and this knife is going to be for the New York City art kitchen knife show put on by Eating Tools, so it's going to be, you know, a little bit of a try hard piece. So this here is basically a fixture I designed. It's a sled that this blade is clamped to, and it's got jacking screws to keep the bolster level. And then the bolster has been surface ground the same distance from the blade on both sides, so I can actually repeat features from side to side as I mill them into the bolster here. At least that's the idea. I'm building a pantograph pattern. Two separate patterns here. This one's for the inlay. It's just for the positive and the negatives for the inlay. These pins all come out, and then I have a separate pattern set here that also pins onto this backboard using many of the same holes. Holes go all the way through the fixture so I can do both sides with it. And then this is the keyhole pattern, and it's got two location holes here and here, so that I can actually pick up with a 3/8 edge and center finder here, using a 3/8 collet in the decal spindle. I can actually use these as location holes to actually mill this shape aligned. I can mill the front side and then flip it over, realign it using these two location holes, then mill this keyhole shape in the other side of the bolster and have it be aligned with the first side of the bolster that I did. That's the idea. I haven't tried this yet. I've done similar things though. So I got my pattern set done today. It's on a base plate here. That's what I've been working on today. Other stuff, I mean, here's some of the paper patterns that I printed for it. And I'm just hoping to get this work done in the next week here and off to the show. Just got back from Montana about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago now, where I had a 2-week workshop I led on integral chef knives, and this is a cool piece of loot that I scored that I brought back. Big old chunk of old stock Stentor 02, an alloy you can't get anymore. That's really nice, and that's just quite dark for Damascus. Well, let's go outside and see what else major I recently got. Here's my new to me rough terrain forklift, and much of this past week has been devoted to going, assessing this thing, finally making a deal on it, hauling it home, doing a little bit of work on it and stuff. So this is a Liftall, Lion Manufacturing Liftall forklift. Again, a rough terrain forklift, forward, reverse, 4-speed there, tilt cylinders, no side shift. It's 8,000 pound capacity, lifting capacity, which means it weighs about 14 to 15,000 pounds overall. Big old counterweight on it. It's towable. That's how we got it back here. It was 100 miles away. My friend and I towed it with his big Cummins truck using this pintle hitch. Only wanted to go 40 miles an hour max before it started twitching around on the road. It's got these steering tires. These are like semi-truck steering tires in the back. I just swapped one of those out yesterday. Fender had to get a little bit cut out by the previous owner to fit this tire. He hadn't done the other tire yet, so I put the bigger tire on this side, and then cut out the fender with a torch the other day to do this. Luckily, I had my new bottle jack. I'll show this to you real quick. This here, it's a 10-ton bottle jack with a 5-ton toe jack lifting capability. So, provided you can pry your machine about 3/4 inch up off the floor on the edge, you can get this toe jack under it and lift it however high you need to get it onto dollies or dunnage or whatever. Super handy thing to have. But since it's 10-ton, it just lifted the back end of that forklift, no problem. The toe jack is going to help me move my machines up onto machinery dollies here. These are big heavy guys, and you can they have a spinning plate on top and then 4 steel wheels on the bottom. You just put these as pads under machines, and then you can roll your machines around. It's a lot easier than having to use the old pry bar and pipe for rollers to get your machines around the shop. So now I'm much better outfitted with the toe jack and with the machinery skates to move machines around on my slab in here, because I'm gonna have to move a lot of them pretty soon. I'll show you why here. Here's the addition that I've been building to my shop. So this room of the shop is 24 feet by 24 feet in here. That's where the majority of my machines are. And then there's a 12 by 24 room right there. So this addition here is 24 feet by 24 feet also, but it's got an eve height of 10 feet rather than 8 feet. So I'll be able to fit some taller stuff in here. I've been building this thing since last year. Last year I poured the piers and did the verticals. And then this year I did all the framing with the girts there. Made the truss, hoisted it up, framed the roof in, sheeted and covered the roof. So now, next step is to get my compressor stuff out of here and staged away from it, and then just get this other random detritus and worksite stuff out so I can actually finish excavating this to below grade here and graveled and rebarred and stuff in preparation for pouring the slab. And you can see I've got that stuff to move. I got a ton of stuff to move here. An old truck, another scrap propane cylinder, all this scrap metal and things out here. So I was just overwhelmed by the amount of stuff I had to move around with archaic methods, and that's why I just finally bought a forklift. And this thing actually runs, drives, lifts very well. I've already managed to move a lot of stuff with it. It's amazing. One of the other projects out in the yard is this Alice Chalmers powered 115 kW diesel generator. Got it basically for free / a little work trade. It's an absolute beast, quite a project. But when I need bigger power down the road, like if I need to run that 25 horsepower screw compressor right there, hopefully I'll be able to fire this up as a power plant. Oh, and also that 40 horsepower hydraulic power pack right here for my big press project. This will provide more than enough power for those, provided I can get it going. Let me show you some of my other projects I've gotten recently. Got some machines out, staged in the yard here, just under tarps temporarily. I need to get them inside before winter, so I'm putting a lot of priority on the building project, doing the slab. But now I have a forklift to just lift these things and put them in the shop once they're ready. So this is a 12 by 24 hydraulic automatic surface grinder. It's a German make. Very nice grinder in its day. An ELB Schliff. And I'm told it ran, but who knows. Here's another surface grinder. And I'd take these tarps off right now, but I mean, you're just gonna have to wait till a future date. We're gonna get far into these. Each one of these has rebuilds. This one actually runs just fine though. It should be pretty much ready to go after a little cleanup. It's a Thompson 8 by 24 hydraulic surface grinder. I'm gonna leave the stone on that. That's gonna be my machine shop grinder. And then here's a project machine I got. basically for free because it has issues, but it's also got potential. It's a Brown and Sharp #2 plain horizontal mill, the 5 horsepower model. Some things work on it, some of them don't. I believe the table feeds work, but the spindle speeds, not so much. This whole gearbox in here is all screwed up. They crashed it, and then so they had to kludge this jack shaft apparatus onto the back to be able to run the spindle still. I'm gonna probably try to do away with that and replace some of that with digital speed control and stuff, but pretty excited to have a Brown and Sharp machine and a horizontal mill. It's got the vertical slaughter head there. That's a cool attachment. And then we've got the universal angle milling head here, so it rotates 360 that way and 360 this way. So I'll be able to drill holes sideways with this, which is actually quite handy for me. It's got a 40 taper spindle in this guy and a 50 taper horizontal spindle back in here. So I'm looking forward to getting into that thing too, probably next year. This here is a hammer that belongs to a friend. He's storing it here. He's gonna come up here. We're gonna get it going, do a little bit of a restore on it. He's gonna haul it back home to Colorado. It's a 150-pound Howe mechanical power hammer. A very nice machine indeed, actually well designed and well built. And it's not gonna really need too much from what I can tell. Mostly cosmetic. And we gotta build a new idler arm for it. Other than that, looks pretty straight. Maybe some new cushions there in the linkage. Let me see if I can get this old beast fired up for you guys real quick. So you can hear the sound of the engine and see it lift a little bit here. Alright, see how she does. A little bit of choke. Make sure we're in neutral. Good, let's give it a shot. Less choke. Whee! That thing is sweet. I already unloaded that horizontal mill with this machine. That's almost a 5,000 pound mill. This thing picked it up no problem off my trailer, and I also moved that 150-pound Howe. I don't know how much it weighs, but it's upward of 4,000 pounds. This machine did not carry even the slightest. So I'm ecstatic to have reached a point where I've got a machine that makes me not have to like move things by insane archaic Egyptian methods around my yard using leverage and rollers. So that's been kind of my week and my summer. I haven't been keeping y'all filled in, for which I apologize. I'm gonna do a better job, and you'll be hearing more from me in the near future. I'll keep you posted on the shop project and give you some updates on the art knife here. And so until then, see you down the road.